I'm Kristina Leone, and coming up on Temple Update, I'll tell you what Temple University is doing to rededicate itself to Japan.
I'm Josh Roldberg. Coming up on Temple Update, I'll tell you why one former owl is staying in Philadelphia.
And Temple University says goodbye to its seniors with a good old-fashioned barbecue.
I'm Jake Wanjari with the Eagle, and you're watching Temple Update.
Hello and welcome to this hour-long special edition of Temple Update. I'm Jennifer Lee.
And I'm Josh Filomeno.
We begin Temple Update with a major announcement from President Ann Weaver Hart regarding the state of Temple's operating budget for the 2011 to 2012 school year. In response to Governor Tom Corbett's budget proposal for cuts in education funding, Temple's President Ann Weaver Hart has announced the university's budget plans for next year. I had the chance to sit down and speak with her earlier this week. For the past few months, many Temple students, parents, and staff have been fighting against the proposed cuts in state funding for education. President Hart says that next year is not going to be easy.
It's a stressful time, so be prepared for some emotional decisions. But if we all work together, we will come out of this a stronger institution.
For most students, their biggest concern is the tuition hike. President Hart says the university will not develop a final recommendation for tuition increases until they have first examined every avenue.
United States Special Forces captured Osama bin Laden, the most wanted man in the world, on May 1st. Updates Dan Koob takes a look at how quickly word spread about his death through social media. Sunday, May 1st. U.S. SEALs stormed the compound of terrorist and mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, Osama bin Laden. After a brief firefight, bin Laden was fatally wounded by a bullet to the head inside his hideout in Abbottabad, Pakistan. President Barack Obama said the killing of bin Laden brings justice to the war on al-Qaeda.
The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat al-Qaeda.
Professor of journalism Susan Jacobson believes social media usage in Pakistan played a large role in the verification of initial reports and reaction after bin Laden's death was confirmed.
In the Middle East, the average citizen doesn't have a lot of reliable news sources. So they use Twitter and Facebook as a way to communicate with each other about things that are actually happening to them.
Social media websites have rendered newspapers like this almost irrelevant when it comes to acquiring instantaneous news. People want their information as quickly as possible, and the operation that brought down Osama bin Laden is just another example of how social media allows news to travel quicker. Temple students agree websites like Facebook and Twitter were the only sites they visited.
I got most of my information through Facebook. Honestly, it was social media that sort of was my major source on finding out.
The impact of social media was felt during the 9th inning of a 1-1 baseball game in South Philadelphia. Before President Obama's announcement, word of Osama bin Laden's death had reached Citizens Bank Park. A true testament to social media's impact on everyday life. For Temple Update, I'm Dan Koob.
Temple University held an event on main campus on May 2nd to show its continued support of the Temple campus in Japan. We have two reports, first from Megan McNerney with details on the ceremony, and second from Kristina Leone on one TUJ student and his personal commitment to Japan.
The eye of Jiruma is seen as a symbol of perseverance and good luck in the Japanese culture. President Ann Weaver Hart will attend the TUJ graduation in June, where she will color in the second eye of the Jiruma doll. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Megan McNerney.
I wasn't at school. I was about to head to school. I was near my house. I was outside when the earthquake struck.
Paul Casey is a Temple senior and international business major at TUJ. He spoke at the rededication ceremonies and described his initial reaction to the magnitude 9 quake that struck Japan. Casey plans on returning to TUJ this summer, but it's events like these that help him stay connected to the country that he's called home for several years. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Kristina Leone.
Last week's Japan Relief Showcase held in Randall Theater raised more than $1,400 for the TUJ Relief Fund. Temple's theater department and Alpha Psi Omega teamed up to make the fundraiser possible. The event was headlined by a performance of Temple Theater's most recent production, A View from the Bridge.
Still to come on this special edition of Temple Update, a group of Temple girls with a common interest came together to raise awareness for a problem that a lot of people deal with.
And Philadelphians laced up their shoes and headed down Broad Street for a little run. Temple Update will be right back.